We're a very faithful family, and that's what tells me that, her spirit is what's teaching her. She's our little girl.
We love our baby. We just grateful to have her in our life because she's been teaching us a lot. She's been teaching us about patience, about hope, about kindness, strength. He's been teaching us more than we've been teaching her.
We just love her for who she is,
Nebraska family Shawn and Lorena Simpson are talking about their child, Alex, who was born with a rare condition where she doesn't have a brain. Their child wasn't supposed to live past 4 years old, but has defied science and recently turned 20.
Hydranencephaly is a condition where somebody is born without a brain, completely without a brain. Now, Alex is born, as far as we know, she never had a brain.
Alex's condition is so rare that it affects 1 in 5,000 to 1 in 10,000 continuing pregnancies and causes a high risk of miscarriages. When Lorena was pregnant with Alex, the fetus suffered a stroke that caused a blood clot in the spinal area and blood stopped flowing to where the brain would develop. However, the excited and expecting parents had no idea anything was wrong with their daughter. In fact, Lorena, who had a child from a previous relationship, said her pregnancy with Alex was perfect.
It was a perfect pregnancy. All 9 months, I don't have any morning sickness or all stuff like that. All the ultrasounds was perfect, normal. The day she born, she passed all the screening baby things as a normal baby. Everything was perfect. It was perfect. And the doctor's like, everything is ready. Everything is perfect. Let's go do it. The next day, I have a C-section because I was having a C-section previous. So it has to be a C-section. So, but everything was fine. Everything was normal, like a normal pregnancy, normal everything. The problem started a couple weeks later.
Alex was born November 4th, 2005, and things seemed normal at first. But then weeks into her being part of the world, the family knew something was off.
We took her to the doctor a couple of times, like 3 times.
Yeah, a few times, probably once a week until she was 2 months, because she wasn't eating, she wasn't latching, she wasn't doing anything, and she was losing weight. So I was like, something is wrong. Something is wrong.
So we kept taking her to the hospital. They tried different formulas. They thought, something was wrong with her stomach because she would cry all the time and she just wouldn't eat. I mean, later on after we found out, we kind of thought back and we were like, okay, her eyes, they're not like tracking us either. Something was just off and we had no idea. And of course, parents were not going to think, well, there's something wrong with our kid's brain. We thought there was something wrong with our kid's stomach, right? Or something wrong on the inside of her body. Had no clue that there was something wrong with her brain. We were in the hospital and it was like that weekend, the New Year's Eve weekend, and they told us, well, we can't really figure it out. I mean, you can go home and we'll keep thinking of something or trying to figure it out. And I remember Lorena was like, no, we're not going home. I don't know what you think you're doing, but you need to figure out what is wrong with our daughter. We're not leaving until you figure it out. And at this point in time, Alex kind of started her crying stage. This is when it started to get real hard for us. When she was born, she wasn't crying a lot, right? It was her brain stem that was kind of doing everything. Her brain wasn't, her brain that she didn't have, but a normal brain wasn't kind of taken over yet. Normal brains will kind of track and that kind of thing, but the brain stem does all the work for about, 6 to 8 weeks is when it starts, the brain stem starts to teach the major brain on what it needs to do. Well, It had been about 7 to 8 weeks on the New Year's Eve weekend. And so that's when Alex really started to cry for long periods of time. And that's kind of why we went into the hospital again, was because she was crying an extensive period of time. And we were like, what is going on here?
While in the hospital, doctors ran tests on her stomach and tried different formulas to help the situation, but none of them worked. Eventually, they took an MRI and discovered an issue no one expected. She was missing a brain.
Here in Nebraska for Children's Hospital, it was the first baby to born like that. The beginning was hard because we're not gonna sugarcoat anything, you know. It was hard. It was hard. We trying to figure it out as a marriage, and we trying to figure it out how we can manage a disabled child. It was
sacrifice. In order to have a wheelchair van, you still have to buy it and you have to have credit for it, right? And so we ended up getting a super cheap van because that's all we could afford at the time, and then we had it modified.
I didn't sleep in the same bedroom because I needed to take care of her, and she has so requirements to take care of her. I mean, I'm talking about sacrifices, but no sacrifices as a parent.
Yeah.
Because I will do whatever for my child and for any of my child. But it was other type of sacrifices, but it wasn't easy because she has low immune system. So we cannot go places that has too many people or sick people or things like that. But we've been doing this for so long that right now it's our normal. Of course.
On top of that, I mean, we have a lot of faith that God is watching over her.
Yeah, you happy, baby?
There's been miracles, especially during COVID, that we know for a fact that it was God and not just us as humans. Everybody in our house got COVID except for Alex. How does that happen? And she has the weakest immune system out of everybody in the house.
Alex essentially has the immune system and functions of a 4 to 6 month old infant. The family has nurses that help during the week as Alex needs to be sponge bathed, have her diapers changed, and lifted into bed. But when she was 3 years old, she suffered pancreatitis.
When she was 3 years old, she got pancreatitis out of nowhere. Even the doctors don't know where that come from.
She was in the hospital for 47 days.
She flatlined 3 times. Nobody resuscitated her. She back herself.
And because of that, her whole body swelled up. And then when it went back to normal, she couldn't breathe, so she had to have a trach put in. And then that's when she had to have a button put in as well to feed her. She would drink milk, and her brain wouldn't be able to tell her when to swallow because she didn't have that normal reaction anymore. And so it would go down into her lungs.
But when she was baby, she wasn't having anything.
Yeah, she didn't have anything.
She wasn't having anything.
She was born, she looked
pretty normal.
Pretty normal. I mean, that's why we were so confused at what was going on, because we thought we had a normal baby.
Shawn and Lorena have another child, a 14-year-old who is helping with responsibilities around the house. Despite the circumstances, the family leads with love and enjoys watching Alex teach them about life.
She responds to music, and for example, nurses like to put the Disney movies, and you can see that she is aware of what's going on.
Because she'll look around. You can see her eyes looking around,
And we talk to her. We all talk to her. For us and for everybody that comes to the house, but because she doesn't have the computer to process what she's seeing, that's why she is They
Yeah.
catalog like blind.
It's
But-
like having the camera on your computer, but there's no hard drive to read what the camera sees. But we don't know how she hears, or what she hears, or what sounds she can interpret. But her ears work, but there's no brain to record what she hears. So a lot of times when she was younger, here's an example. When she was younger, you know, you could be loud, there would be hammering going on, people pounding stuff in the wall, and she'd fall asleep. But if it's really silent in the house and, you know, all of a sudden somebody starts talking, she would jump. Just a regular conversation, right? So, I mean, her hearing is there, and we understand that she does hear, but we don't know how she hears. She just needs to be loved and cared for. She needs food, clothing, shelter, just like everybody else, and she needs love. And that's what we provide for her. She's taught us a lot about peace, about patience, and about love, unconditional love. And that's what is probably one of the most important pieces.
For Inside Edition Digital, I'm Sal Bono.